Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on teaching the 21st century learning skills in project-based learning. In this video today, we're going to look at the skill of collaboration. If you already teach PBL or thematic learning, or you want to start, then you're in the right place. I'm Val, and I help schools to bring PBL to life and transform their students in the process. In project-based learning, our role as educators is to prepare our students for a world of work that doesn't yet exist, and it's hard to even imagine. Think back to when you were at school. Many things that we use today simply weren't in existence. Think about apps on phones or AI, for example. It would have been impossible to conceive of those things, let alone think about them as fields that we could work in. But that is the reality for our students. We as educators need to prepare them for a future that we can't conceive of right now, and to jobs that do not yet exist. That means that more than just having content knowledge, our students need to be prepared with skills. They need to stand independently as problem solvers, as innovators and collaborators with strong communication skills, plus the abilities to manage themselves and to bounce back from failure. And that's how the role of a teacher has changed. It is our job to teach them these skills. So what are the 21st century learning skills? Well, there's 6 of them. They are collaboration, creativity and innovation, critical thinking, communication and presentation, self-management, and resilience or grit. You may have noticed that the first 4 begin with the letter C, and that is exactly how these skills were originally named, the 4 Cs. Over time, it became clear that there's actually more to thriving in the world that we live in today, and that's why the skills of self-management and resilience or grit are also now included. When planning a project-based learning unit, it should be based around these competencies, focusing on 1 or 2 main skills in each project, with the others being included in a smaller role. Students need to be taught and assessed in these areas, aiming to improve upon their last effort to show the progress that they are making. Each of these skills is a competency that needs to be explicitly taught so that the students know what it looks like and what is expected of them. In this series, there are 6 videos, each looking at one of the 21st century learning skills in more depth. We will discuss what the skill is, what it looks like for students of different ages, and to help you bring it to life in your classroom, we will look at an assessment rubric and a lesson idea for each age range. So this video is about collaboration. Think about a classroom full of small children. Do they automatically know how to share or how to work together? If you've ever taught little ones, been a parent or spent any time around small children, you will know that they do not. It's up to the adults in the room to teach them, and this is the case with collaboration for students of all ages, not just the younger ones. Let's look at a definition of collaboration. Collaboration occurs when students work together to complete a project, and it must combine thinking, skills, and efforts to do so. This skill allows students to learn from each other by working together and combining their abilities, their experiences, and their resources. They move from working as individuals, separate from each other, working on their own tasks and their own solutions, to working as a team, pooling their resources, their skills, and their ideas. Good collaboration promotes listening and discussion. It encourages openness to others' ideas and prompts students to consider things from another perspective, bringing in critical thinking. Good collaboration needs 4 things, and these are the basis of the skills rubrics that you will find in the teaching pack. These 4 things are planning and group decision-making, communication about their thinking, contribution in terms of resources and ideas and effort, and then processes for monitoring the work and how students do with those first 3 elements. A beginner in each of these areas works largely by themselves and focuses on their own ideas and resources. They're resistant to the help and suggestions of others. As kids become more proficient, they work towards sharing ideas and sharing resources. They work towards asking others what they think, and then taking those opinions into account, aiming to create a shared final product. Excellent collaborators are able to review the quality of their work and then think about how they could work better together next time. We now know that collaboration moves from working as an individual to working together. It looks different in every age, so let's have a look at the expectations for students in different grades and see how that changes. Looking at kindergarten, every step of collaboration needs to be modelled by adults, with students encouraged to mimic and repeat. They don't have any framework to base any kind of sharing on. Any improvements they make in collaboration are celebrated, and the students are fully supported as they improve. They can begin to answer questions around their level with the skill. Did I do this well? Do I need to improve in it? And the teacher will support them in every single element as much as needed. Looking at students in grades 1 and 2, they're more able to discuss what good collaboration looks like and what it doesn't look like. They are taught to self-assess, and they're introduced to simple methods to manage conflict and to manage workload. In these grades, the teacher will lessen support as the students become more independent within that framework that they have been given. But we do expect that kids in grades 1 and 2 will need continued support. As they get older in grades 3, 4, and 5, they've got more experience in the skill. They can participate in more detailed discussions. They're more able to self-assess, and we teach them to offer kind, thoughtful feedback to their peers, feedback that they can then take on and put into their project. Kids of this age are more comfortable managing their workload and more comfortable solving their conflicts independently. As they get older in grades 6 to 12, they have a large base of prior knowledge. They can identify areas of skill in themselves and in others and allocate tasks accordingly, either allocating a task to someone who's strong in that skill or reversing it and allocating it a task to somebody who needs to improve in that area. Their communication is thoughtful and it's deliberate. I've made a free teaching pack on collaboration and will link it in the comments below. In the pack, you're going to find detailed lesson plans with activities to teach the skill. The lessons have been designed to give students the experience of collaborating with challenging tasks that encourage them to work together. You will also find a rubric for each age range in there. The full pack includes a description of collaboration and how to define it, examples of what collaboration looks like in each grade level, rubrics to define the 4 elements of the skill, those that we talked about earlier, lesson plans with teaching ideas, all low prep and easy to implement, and a student booklet that includes self-evaluation, target setting, target review, and more. Now that we know about collaboration, let's look at some of the challenges you might encounter when you teach it. The first is conflict. When children are working together in groups, managing conflict or differences of opinion is going to be essential. It can be particularly tricky when the kids are new to this process because everyone thinks that they are right and that everyone else is wrong, so getting a consensus can be tough. As PBL educators, our role is to guide them to a solution without intervening or taking over, unless it becomes 100% necessary. The aim is to equip our students with the skills they need to solve problems by themselves. So how do we do that? To begin with, we establish ground rules for collaborative group work from the beginning. The team agreement and the team meeting structures included in the lesson pack are perfect for doing this. The team agreement contains criteria that the group agree to, and it gives them space to add some of their own. Should they have a difference of opinion, direct them to follow the steps for a team meeting that you will find outlined on this worksheet. Hopefully that's all they need, but if not, you can guide them in a discussion, and there are some useful phrases that can help. I would ask the students who are having a conflict to finish each of these sentences. The first is, to help our team work better together, we could. This is a solution-oriented prompt, and it directs them to think about how they can work together. If organization is an issue, you might want to ask, what do we need to do to finish on time? And for a group that are having trouble sharing the workload, ask them to finish the sentence, it would be fairest if. By giving students the tools to solve conflict, they have autonomy to direct the learning by themselves. The teacher becomes a guide rather than needing to explicitly direct the group, and the group becomes independent. And they become increasingly self-sufficient, and that is exactly what we're aiming for in PBL. Another challenge you might encounter can be choosing how many students to put in a group and who those group members should be. To choose the right group size, think about the task. Would it be best with pairs, groups of 3, groups of 4, groups of 5? Try to avoid groups any larger than 5 because they become harder to manage. Over a year, students should be given the opportunities to work in a variety of group sizes. So when planning out your projects, bear this in mind and set the groups accordingly. Now, how do you choose who works together? Well, this can be one of the most contentious things in any classroom. We all know those kids who want to work with their friends and then get nothing done, or the strong character who takes over their group, making the others feel unheard. As with group size, actually variety is key here. Keep a list of who works together and then rotate them across the year so they get the opportunity to work with a wide variety of their peers. Avoid allowing students to work exclusively with their friends, as this can lead to friendship issues or to other students feeling excluded. And what do you do with those strong personalities? Well, one option is to spread them out throughout the groups, and this is a viable option sometimes. However, they might each dominate the group that they're in. Another option is to put them all together. This strategy frees up the other students to lead their groups, giving the chance for everyone to shine. And it also lets those students with stronger personalities experience what it's like to work with someone like them. So they learn how to compromise and how to take others' opinions into account, which is a valuable life lesson. So I think that just about wraps up our video on collaboration. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please follow along for more videos on using project-based learning to transform your classroom and your students. If you would like the free lesson pack on collaboration or the packs on how to teach the other 5 21st century learning skills, just click on the links below, and like and subscribe to this channel for more great content on project-based learning. See you next time.